Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside that weather window. And another beautiful day today. Clouds did begin to roll in about noontime or so, and that made for a mostly cloudy afternoon as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from the Wenatchee Heights cross camera. And you can see all the clouds that did roll in, and that's ahead of a pretty decent-sized storm system that'll make its way to the north central Washington area probably late Friday, and especially as we get into the weekend. Today, we mentioned there's a nice one out there with some sunshine, but things will begin to change. We could see, even to our east, some light snow in the Idaho Panhandle. Valleys could see up to a half inch of snow on Friday. Not so much for us. That will be in eastern Washington. And then by the weekend, showers and a bit breezy. And we'll tell you much more about that coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. A Wenatchee man allegedly threatened his former partner with a knife and then chased her into her place of work on Wednesday. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies say they interrupted a domestic assault Wednesday in Rock Island. An East Wenatchee woman arrested in a high-profile drug raid last year was sentenced to 20 months in prison. And the Washington State Patrol is trying to clear up rumors about what they're doing in response to Governor Jay Inslee's stay-home order. But first, we begin tonight. The U.S. Senate unanimously passed a $2 trillion COVID-19 relief bill Wednesday night. They will provide money for health care efforts, small businesses, state governments, and almost every American. The bill will mean a $1,200 check for most people, plus $500 per child for families. The House is expected to approve the bill on Friday, meaning Americans should begin receiving their checks within 3 weeks or sooner if they have direct deposit with the IRS. In addition, unemployment checks will be boosted by $600 per week. Washington Senator Maria Cantwell said the money is desperately needed in our state, where the first U.S. coronavirus case was diagnosed and 132 people have died from the virus.
Because the state of Washington desperately needs this help. When I think about this package that literally has been crafted since Saturday about 10 o'clock and people running to go and collaborate, and yes, there were many challenges to that collaboration, I also think about the people who are on the front line in the state of Washington who have paid such a heavy price. From the factory worker we just lost in Everett, Washington, to the COVID-19 disease, to the grocer at the Leschi grocery store who was just trying to help deliver groceries to a needed public, to the pathologist at the University of Washington who was a leader in this field but also lost his life. Real sacrifice and real crushing blows have been dealt in this disease. But today we are responding with more help for our state. We are giving them more money for hospitals, more money for the front line with protective gear, more money for testing, and more money to support them as they continue the effort to try to stop this disease.
In other news, a Wenatchee man allegedly threatened his former partner with a knife and then chased her into her place of work on Wednesday. Matthew William Fishborn is in custody after Wenatchee police caught up with him. He allegedly confronted the woman as she arrived at her job at Safeway on Wednesday morning, displayed a knife, tried to take her phone, and then followed her into the store while she called police from her cell phone. Investigators said they found the knife he used in a garbage can outside the store. Fishborn, who's 34, faces possible charges of harassment, kidnapping, burglary, attempted robbery, and assault. Douglas County Sheriff's deputies say they interrupted a domestic assault Wednesday in Rock Island. Emiliano Nunez Zamudio, who's 33, is held in the Okanagan County Jail and charged with first-degree assault, kidnapping, and harassment. He allegedly held a knife to the throat of his partner during an argument at their Rock Island apartment. A judge set his bail yesterday at $200,000. An East Wenatchee woman arrested in a high-profile drug raid last year was sentenced to 20 months in prison. 22-year-old Naomi Lara has already spent 6 months behind bars since her arrest on September 4th. That's when the Columbia River Drug Task Force kicked down her door and found an estimated 50 grams of methamphetamine and 20 grams of heroin. She pleaded guilty this week in Douglas County Superior Court to that meth possession and keeping a property for drug purposes. Another man arrested in the raid, 27-year-old Jesus Morales Lozano, still awaits trial on similar charges. Well, the Washington State Patrol is trying to clear up rumors about what they're doing in response to Governor Jay Inslee's stay-home order. Trooper Chris Thorson, District 3 Public Information Officer for the State Patrol, says don't listen to the rumors.
Hello, Trooper Thorson with the Washington State Patrol. They wanted to quash some rumors going around Washington State that troopers are specifically stopping cars to question and interrogate people about where they're going or what they're doing or if they're essential employees. That is not true. Also, our borders between Idaho and Oregon and Washington State are open. They are not closed at all. We are not doing any checkpoints. So please help us spread the word. Thanks.
Coming up next, state money is rolling in for local efforts against coronavirus. With ridership down about 40% following the governor's stay-home order, Link Transit will reduce the frequency of its weekday service on many routes beginning Monday. Amid the work restrictions that are plaguing local government, Chelan County has hired a new community development director. And even though their offices are locked for public health, local irrigation districts are prepping to fill the Wenatchee Valley's canals and pipelines. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
You probably won't launch hurricane-force projectiles at your truck bed.
Watch me! Watch me! I got it! Watch me! I got it! Hey! I'm super bad.
But it's nice to know you can.
Hey!
Introducing Carbon Pro. If it can handle a hurricane, it can handle you. Only on the GMC Sierra.
And I'm super bad.
Arctic Refrigeration and Heating, serving North Central Washington, is proud to offer the finest heating and cooling air quality products along with prompt and professional customer service since 1984. Regardless of the temperature outside, Arctic is here for you. Arctic offers a variety of services: residential and commercial heating, air conditioning, commercial refrigeration, as well as planned fall and spring maintenance for the overall well-being of your system. Call Arctic Refrigeration and Heating for your heating and cooling needs.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
Welcome back. In another news, state money is rolling in for local efforts against coronavirus. Chelan and Douglas counties must share almost $72,000 awarded by the State Department of Commerce this morning. Grant and Adams counties get $145,000, and Okanagan County receives more than $101,000. The money can be used for various purposes in the pandemic response, including food and rental assistance, small business support, and health services. The counties must submit local distribution plans to the state before the money is authorized. Well, with ridership down about 40% following the governor's stay-home order, Link Transit will now reduce the frequency of its weekday service on many routes beginning on Monday. The frequency of its A, B, and C routes will be reduced from every 15 minutes to every 30 minutes, and several other routes will be reduced from every 30 minutes to every hour. In addition, the Leavenworth Shuttle will cease operations. The scheduled changes are for weekdays only, with the exception of the Leavenworth Shuttle. Link says it expects to have its final route reduction schedule available by Friday afternoon. The new schedules then will be available on linktransit.com or by calling 662-1155. Well, amid the work restrictions that are plaguing local government, Chelan County has now hired a new community development director. Jim Brown was director of the State Department of Fish and Wildlife's North Central region for 7 years and spent 28 years with the agency, all told. He's scheduled to start April 23rd at Community Development, which oversees building permits and zoning for the county. Brown replaces David Kuhl, who left the job at the end of February. Well, even though their offices are locked for public health, local irrigation districts are prepping to fill the Wenatchee Valley's canals and pipelines. The Wenatchee Reclamation District, which runs the 34-mile Highline Canal, expects to begin charging its system on April 6th, although the canal will take several days to fill up. The Millardale Irrigation District activates water for landowners starting on April 13th. The Greater Wenatchee Irrigation District, which serves areas around Rock Island, Brays Landing, and Howard Flats, expects to get water flowing by April 15th. Irrigation users should start checking their connections now to be ready for that flow. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Boating in the Wenatchee Valley starts at Bombfile Boats and Motors. Now you can fish like a pro without breaking the bank thanks to the ProMag aluminum fishing boat by Smokercraft. Talk about social distancing. You can be a champion on the water, all alone, fishing. And with low interest rates and lowering gas prices, now's the perfect time to buy. See the Smokercraft line of boats at Bombfile Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bombfile.com.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Hi, this is Brian Snyder with Black Rock Asphalt Services here in Wenatchee, your local Black Rock Seal Coat company. Have you looked at your driveway or parking lot lately? Is it gray and oxidized? Does it have cracks that have not been taken care of? Or do you have striping that is pretty much non-existent? Please give us a call locally here, 509-665-9769. Learn more at blackrockasphaltsealcoating.com.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Well, like every district throughout the state of Washington, local schools have been closed since March 17th to help stop the spread of coronavirus. But one program keeps going. In tonight's features story, NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins reports school lunches are providing some continuity during a very trying time.
You ready to come back to school? Yeah? We miss you. I bet Dad will carry them out for you.
When kids show up each day at Columbia Elementary to collect their lunch, Nani Island knows most of them by name.
So I have a sandwich and a city mini in here, cucumbers or celery, fish crackers. So there's a little bit of everything.
She's been kitchen lead here for 3 years, and her work didn't stop when schools were closed by Governor Jay Inslee's order to protect public health.
We've been handing out about 170.
At schools around Wenatchee and in every north central Washington school district, lunch is now free to every child up to age 18, whether a student or not. Buses deliver meals to some locations, and school kitchens, like Columbia's, are open daily for pickup.
Are you hungry today? Yeah? Here you go, bud. You're welcome. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, right?
Jordan Jones grabbed lunch this week for 4 of his 7 kids, ages 6 years old down to 18 months. His oldest boy is a Columbia student.
It's a nice little break from the being caged up in the house, so it's been kind of nice to be able to just come down here, and as you see, it's a nice day, so it's able to get some wiggles out. You know, still having a presence at the school is nice, so they can keep that, I guess, familiar in their minds.
The free school meal programs run through April 24th, when the governor's closure order expires. After that, classes will either reopen with an option to run through June 19th, or choose another route if coronavirus still poses a public health threat.
There you go. Thank you. See you guys tomorrow. Bye, buddy. Bye, Chloe.
Jefferson Robbins, NCWLIFE.
Time now for a check of your north central Washington weather forecast. And before we get to those details, let's take a look outside our weather window today. And it's kind of a little darker, hasn't it, this afternoon as clouds began to roll in just after lunch. We had lots of sunshine this morning, and that gave way to now all these clouds as we look down from the Wenatchee Heights area, our cross camera at the beautiful Wenatchee Valley. And high temperatures today, a little bit warmer than yesterday, but not much. 53 our official or unofficial high temperature. 57 is where we should be for this time of year. About normal for our lows, too. 34 this morning, 37 is normal. Record high, 1994. What a day. 74 degrees back in 1985, though. A little bit chillier, our record low of 24 degrees. We did pick up 2/100ths of an inch of precipitation, and that gets us to 1.62, that should say. 12.2 inches of snow for the year. Sunrise, 6:50 this morning, and the sun will set at 7:23. Let's take a look and see how your Friday will shape up. And lots of you at home and out of school and not much to do. So how's that weather going to be tomorrow? A lot like today, except a few more clouds, especially throughout the day. A little warmer, too. 58 in Moses Lake, mid to upper 50s for Quincy and Ephrata, about 56 here in the Wenatchee area, 55 for Cashmere, 54 in Chelan, and 54 as well for a high temperature up in Omak. And let's show you the overall weather pattern before we get to our surface loop. Here we are right here, Washington State and the West Coast. A large area of high pressure is out on the Pacific. Remember, that's clockwise circulation. Here's one area of low pressure riding down the side of it. Another one will sneak through the southern part of Canada. And then here's the next storm system that will be a weather maker next week. It's going to ride up and over that high pressure and move in as well. So that's pretty much our weather scenario as we go through the next 4 or 5 days. But as we get into tonight, mostly cloudy skies. We will see a northwest wind 5 to 15 miles an hour. And you can see it's right along this frontal boundary where the clouds will roll in. And that's where we'll see a little bit of snow. Not so much for us here, but I think the Cascades could pick up maybe an inch or two of snow overnight tonight. As we get into Friday, mostly cloudy skies. Once again, some mountain snow showers. It will be mild here because we are seeing a pretty warm southwesterly flow moving into Washington State. So that will actually warm us up over the next few days. For Saturday, mostly cloudy. At least a 40% chance for rain on Saturday. It will continue to be mild, and we'll still continue to see a little bit of light snow in the Cascades. So Snoqualmie and Stevens Passes, if you're traveling those this weekend, might be a little shaky at times, so make sure you check before you leave. Sunday, mostly cloudy, a 30% chance of rain and mild. And I think this is our best shot for rain. It will be on Monday, a 40% chance for rain. Snow in the higher elevations in Idaho as well as here in the Cascades. It could really be a snowy Monday in most mountain locations. And then as we get into Tuesday, things die down a little bit. We'll see mostly cloudy skies, just scattered showers. There is a large area of low pressure off the coast of British Columbia, but high pressure will keep that at bay and just continue to warm us up. And by Wednesday, we're talking temperatures near 70 degrees for many eastern Washington locations. Maybe a morning shower on Wednesday. Partly cloudy, as I mentioned, and then very mild before this next storm system moves our way. And that could bring us some rain showers towards the end of next week. Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling, 7-day forecast now, 36. Very mild overnight low tonight, 56 tomorrow. A little bit of a warm up as we get into the weekend. 58 on Saturday, 40% chance for rain, a 30% chance for the wet stuff on Sunday, and 57. We're going to stay at 57 for Monday and Tuesday with some wet weather possible as well. And then things will get a little better as we get into Wednesday with partly cloudy skies, a 20% chance for rain with highs then of 58 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
The two hottest pickups in America are at Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. First, the Ram 1500 with back-to-back Truck of the Year awards from Motor Trend, and now the Car and Driver 10 Best list for 2020. They call it a luxury sedan with pickup capabilities. Ram is on a roll now with third-generation eco-diesel power. Next up, the Jeep Gladiator, also a 2020 10 Best model based on the new award-winning Jeep Wrangler. It has options and capabilities that no other truck can offer. Two more reasons when it comes to buying a truck. There's no reason to leave town.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
This is Caitlin Hedersheet, the producer of the NCWLIFE magazine. Each week, I'm bringing you a look behind the scenes of the faces, places, and events that make North Central Washington the place we call home. Tune in every weekday for an in-depth look at a new topic each week. From local artists in their studios to businesses breaking barriers that might surprise you and everything in between. Join me on the NCWLIFE magazine right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. Hunkering down at home, I'm Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE channel. World of sports, well, you can add recreational fishing to the list of things you can no longer do. The Department of Fish and Wildlife, effective midnight last night, has closed recreational fishing and shell fishing across the state of Washington. This is in response to Governor Jay Inslee's stay-at-home order. In response to the COVID-19 outbreak, the department said crowds at boat ramps and some fishing sites were the reason for the closure. Well, as we all come to grips with the changes to our lives brought on by the global pandemic, so too is the world of sports. Seasons have been stopped, schedules have been altered, and questions still remain for so many. Major League Baseball's new season was to have begun this weekend, with the Mariners hosting Texas beginning tomorrow at T-Mobile Park. That won't happen. In fact, General Manager Jerry DiPoto has told his players to adopt an off-season mentality.
You know, what we've urged the guys is to go where they feel safest, and that is from a health standpoint. And a lot of guys have now they've made their way back to their natural homes or somewhere that they feel safe going. And we told them, you view this as something, where do you feel comfortable for the next 2 months? And then we will reassess. And we don't know where this will go. We told them we may be able to adjust up, and we may be able to, or be forced to adjust down in terms of our expectations. And right now, as I said, our only true concern here is health and well-being throughout. So we have our strength coaches have put together a program, resistant fan. Many of our guys are not going to access gyms. And we have built what we think is a very moderate throwing program, and effectively told our guys, we need you to go into off-season mode psychologically, emotionally, and understand that whatever time we get back to playing, you will have time to ramp back up. We're not going to ask guys to go from 0 to 60 at the snap of a finger.
Major League Baseball hopes to get its season going in late May or early June. The Wenatchee Apple Sox and the entire West Coast League have adopted a new campaign, #StayHomeForBaseball. Wenatchee first-year coach Ian Sanderson sent a message to Apple Sox fans.
Hey, Apple Sox Nation. Just sitting here in timeout in the quarantine in this uncertain time. We just want to touch base and let everybody know that they should stay home, practice social distancing. From the coaching staff and the roster, we're all excited to get up into Wenatchee this summer. We just need everybody to be healthy and out on the field and ready to cheer us on. Go Sox.
The #StayHomeForBaseball campaign is encouraging fans to stay home and flatten the coronavirus curve. The campaign challenges not only fans but also baseball teams everywhere at all levels to help limit and ultimately stop the spread of COVID-19. Last week, the West Coast League announced that it planned to start the 2020 season on time. However, the league is still trying to do its part in the short term to ensure that the 2020 season can proceed as planned. Our sports broadcast schedule begins or continues tonight here on the NCW Life channel, featuring boys soccer as Eastmont hosts Moses Lake from a game from last April. Sebastian Moraga and Matt Wisen had the play-by-play.
Bit of a ping-pong game. There's Cabrera. Cabrera with some room. Cabrera, right-footed shot. Cabrera, goal, 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 goal! What a beautiful strike by Jorge Cabrera to give Eastmont the lead over the Moses Lake Chiefs. Matt Wisen.
Yeah, fantastic finish there. You can see him cutting to his right, which is one thing I was about ready to say. That position, the number 10 spot, really needs to be setting up the forwards for the shot, and not by dribbling straight at the keeper or straight in. You're killing the space at that point. And here we just saw Jorge cut to the right and open up that angle where a forward can run in behind for the slotted pass. In this case, the angle and a shot opened up. And so Jorge's always looking at the goal, and like any good player does. And he put that away beautifully.
I was pleased with how they play on the field. The only thing that we needed to do was put the game away with the chances that we had, with the opportunities that we produced. That is what was missing, and that is what has been missing throughout the season. Is defensively we're strong, we're able to hold teams off, but to win games you got to score goals, and the games that we've lost is because we don't put those opportunities away. And today was, we managed to put one away, and defensively played well, but we had many other chances that needed to go in and didn't.
Eastmont and Moses Lake soccer tonight. Then we begin our 5 games in 3 days of Wenatchee Wild. It's a wild weekend here on the NCW Life channel. Coming up on tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, it's Merritt and Wenatchee. Then on Saturday, 2 games against Penticton at 2 and at 7. And then on Sunday, it's Prince George at 2 o'clock against the Wild, followed by Nanaimo and Wenatchee at 7 o'clock. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom here on the NCW Life channel. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And finally tonight, it was more tense than a turkey on Thanksgiving on Interstate 90 in Spokane Valley on Wednesday. 3 turkeys were spotted walking on the shoulder of the busy interstate, and the Washington State Department of Transportation sprang into action. An incident response team was dispatched while WashDOT urged motorists to move over a lane and watch for sudden movement. The team was able to herd the turkeys behind a barrier, then down the freeway to an exit ramp where they were witnessed disappearing over an embankment to safety. A Washington State Patrol trooper said the turkeys apparently hadn't gotten the message about good social distancing. Remember, if you have a video of the day that you'd like to see here on the NCW Life Evening News, message us on our Facebook page at the NCW Life channel. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. Tomorrow morning, we start our weekend live and local here with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll have the latest local news, whether it's COVID-related or not. I wish I could give you lots and lots of high school and professional baseball scores. Today was supposed to be opening day of the baseball season. Like everything else in our day-to-day lives, it has changed. So we'll do what we can do to cobble together a show to start your day live and local. Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 7 a.m. Friday morning. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.